Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 26, Race 5. And we find ourselves here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. And we've got our first full grid of the season. How fantastic is that? And what better one to face the tricky, tight track with so many cars on track than this street circuit. With its close walls, cars potentially having maximum downforce, the high speeds of this street circuit. It's got a bumpy surface as well. Many tricky conditions for the drivers to navigate, and not only that, but the temperamental weather conditions. We got a dry qualifying. What will the race bring us? With the tricky humidity, and this track type can play havoc on the tyres too. So everyone's going out for their first hot lap of the race, and we're following race 4, which was a fantastic run out in Mexico, where Amadi managed to clinch the win. He's currently leading the championship ahead of the championship holder Adamaco, and Pitt actually had a good race right to the end against Ricky Maru, who managed to get P2 on his debut. He's not with us this week, but it was a good show between those two. And unfortunately, with the penalties, that kind of gave the win to Amadi. Adamaco clinching P3, and a big shout out to Caps Lock, who got driver of the day last week. Had a good battle to the end, but what we do is jump on with Atsu has first hot lap of the evening, and it will open up with DRS down towards Benjamin Shearer's Bridge at a speed of 300 km/h, braking at 146 through the S curves of turns 1, 2 and 3. Open up that throttle on turn 3, down Republic Boulevard of the kink of turn 4. Turn 5, we want to go wide left as possible to turn in, skim the wall, open up that DRS down Rattles Boulevard, the kink of turn 6, where we're going to see quite a few overtakes down to the heavy braking zone of turn 7, where you clip the apex right hand side of Nickel Highway. The slow bends of turns 8 and 9 through Stamford Road, opens out exit of turn 9 onto St Andrews Road, flat out down to turn 10, which is a blind left-hander, 150 kilometres an hour. Turns 11 and 12, which have been reprofiled, slight kink to the left on turn 12 across the bridge, Anderson Bridge, and then you want to go as wide as possible. It's been opened up a bit of the hairpin of turn 13, crossing Esplanade Bridge, DRS zone over the Singapore River, right-hander 90 degrees of turn 14, where you don't want to go wide because you can invalidate. The new turn 15, 16, Raffles Avenue, DRS zone, where we're going to see some overtakes as well, going to turn 16, the start of turn 16, 17 chicane, where you want to get a good exit on turn 17, flat out turns 18 and 19, as we pass the Singapore Flyer, end the hot lap of the Singapore GP. Actually comes with a 1:28.7, good start for him, where I'm predicting potentially mid-26s, which Amadi starts off with a 26.9. Good start for him, who's had a good start to season. Adamaco starting with 28.74, so he's still got quite a bit of time to find, half a second behind Amadi. Project Ty, his season debut with P4 with the 29.3. We've got Billy, who's come with a currently P6.7, 29.4 with his Lights Out League Racing debut. Good to have him on track with us. Noodles on the mediums, 29.4. He's got plenty of time to find. The times are dropping as Brady gets himself up to P3, currently 27.9, a second behind Amadi, but I'm sure he's got time to find. Kizagiza gets himself up to P5 as Thelemy up to P2. Ooh, 300ths behind Amadi, close there. We've got Yates in the Red Bull on his season debut for the Red Bull team on medium, so half a second behind. He's got some time to find. Marty on the mediums as well, so we've got one or two drivers. Does that mean we've got a dry race as one or two drivers saving a set of softs. As Marty's on a 20.5. Jack Daniels coming currently provisional P8, a 28.7. Katz on his season debut in the second Haas with a 28.9. Pula Podolski getting his first flying lap with a 28.9 as well. Had a little warning beforehand, just make sure he stays off that racing line in quali. Terry's currently P12 and a new wheel, 29.1. Maranello on his season debut as well in the second Red Bull, currently at 29.5. Got Dan Morris on an out lap on his first run on his new wheel as well. Now on Sargate, Katami's yet to do their first run, so Portuguese I think just setting, just watching, seeing what's going on, and then we'll come out for a hot lap. So some good early times, good early pace. We'll see one or two more jump into the 126s, I'm sure. What's Marty? Is he going to be doing another hot lap? He's not. Let's see what Jax is doing. He's gone pretty slow. He's jumping into the pit, so it's just the one lap I think for most, as Terry's is going a little bit quicker. And it looks like he's ending his hot lap. No, he's still going around sector 2, as Amadi has improved slightly with a 26.942. Not much quicker than his first run, but it's just extend that gap by a couple of extra hundredths. And we'll see how Terry's is getting on. So he's a 10.5 off as he just comes out of turn 14. Opens up that throttle. Hasn't used any DRS though. It didn't seem like his wing was open. As he comes around the final couple of corners, crosses the line, and hasn't managed to improve that much. Dan's just coming round there, Sargate's behind. So we'll check see how Dan's getting on. Since this left the session, you might need a re-invite. We'll send one. Just as Dan comes around the final couple of corners and see where he's going to be. He's currently P12, the 28.9, sorry, so a good banker lap for him. And Sidegate's invalidated, so he's jumping straight into the pits. Let's just re-invite Kat. Brady is on an out lap or an in lap. Let's check on Marty's doing again. Looks like he's doing another hot lap on those mediums. As he's just coming down to turn 10. He's got the Mercedes in front of him that looks like it's potential on a hot lap again. Across Anderson Bridge. Around the hairpin of turn 13. It's such a tight track and you've got to stay away from the cars behind. You've got to be wary. As he is down, so he's not going to improve. Let's see how Atsu's doing. He joined us last week. Good to see him again on track. Come round turn 5. Open up that DRS and we'll see if he's improved much on this lap. On this sector, sorry. He's almost half a second up, so has found plenty of time on his second run. We'll see him currently get up to provisionally P5. This is one of my... Ooh, a little bit of dodgy exit. Coming out of turn 9. A little bit shaky on the throttle. think that was Podolski, just improving on his time slightly. And he's almost a second up now, which will get him up to P4. This track temperature's ramping up. The more and more cars do their laps. Yes, that is Yates, I think, getting himself up to provisionally P4 with a 27.5. Zatsu gets himself up to P5, just getting ahead of Brady. Geezer up to P6, great lap from him. Jax Daniels up to P8. These times are falling, 28.3. Dan's invalidating. Here's what can Billy do. He's down on his time currently, so he's not going to improve. Podolski's just coming down the end of his lap. Doesn't look like he's going to improve. He doesn't. He stays P13 for now. What can Noodles do? Game says he's set the fastest second sector. I'm sure he's got more time in his car than he's currently got. He's a quick guy. Very consistent. Very good at not getting penalties. Comes around the final couple of corners. Goes up to P14, 27, 29 flat. We'll stay on with Portuguese and see what he can do. Was potentially going to miss today, but managed to get his wheel working. Coming down the Raffles Avenue to turn 16. Looks like a good exit, very close to the wall. Foot to the floor. Flat out round the final couple of corners. Provisional pole with 26.8. Amadi is invalidated, so we'll see what Sygate can do on his final through the chicane of 16 and 17. On his first hot lap. Managed to keep it within the white lines this time. Around the final couple of corners. The 32, so setting himself a banker lap. So Katami's the only one yet to set a lap. He's also, of course, got himself on the podium already this season. He's looking to get another around the final corner. P8, 27.8. Amadi's on another lap. He's currently just under a tenth up, so could potentially be fighting for this provisional pole with 4.5 minutes left to go. Yeah, this is one of my favourite tracks. This one first came on the calendar in 2008 and had the honour of hosting its the first nighttime race in F1 history. Has 1,600 custom-made spotlights surrounding the track, and that night Alonso claimed victory. And now one of 6 night races on the calendar, with Qatar, Vegas, Bahrain, Jeddah and Sakir when it has to. And there's, of course, tracks have to be night races because of the temperatures within that region. As he's coming around the final couple of corners, can he get himself onto pole? He does. 26.5. So that's the time I was predicting was going to be the pole time. As we'll see Marinello, see if he can improve on his current 29.4. Looking good. 29.2, so doesn't improve on position. Just behind Projecti. Podolski's in the pit. Let's see what Marty can do. He's looking currently in a bit of vein of form, not just in this league but others. 3/10 up. We'll be looking to improve on his time. Set his previous laps on medium, so he should improve greatly on his current time. Currently P10 with his just over 2.5 tenths up. So yeah, up to about P10 probably. So he needs to find a lot of time in this final sector. As he's just coming around turn 18 and 19 flat out. As I've said before, can he improve? Does get to P10 with a 28.000. You don't see that often. You do not see that often. Terry's just out on a, I think it's going to be a warm-up lap. Him and his teammate Sygate. He's gone into the pits. Had a great run out in Monza on the special race, mandatory tyre race. And wasn't happy with last week's, but what can he do this week? As we'll check on again with Atsu. He's on his final flying lap, and we're going to see everybody coming out for their final flying laps. So it's all or nothing now. What can they do? As he's coming round turn 10, he's looking quite slow. Turn 10 used to have that high curbs chicane, and over the early days of this track they ended up lowering the curbs on the weekend, and then in 2010 changed it to its current blind left-hander, increasing its entry by 40 kilometers an hour. So it's looking very, very slow, I think this is. And we'll look at going again. Marty is not improving, so that's him done now. He's not going to be back out and in again. There's Maranello 4 seconds down, so he's not going to improve. He's going to have to do an outlap and then run again. Project Ty just under a tenth up on his current time. Needs to find a little bit more to gain a position. These times will be flying in. I'll try and keep up with them as much as possible. As Billy is just over 2.5 tenths up. And that's it for now for Terry. So highest he's going to start is P11, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be starting there. As Billy gets up to P13. Right, let's try and see what I can do then. As Amadi has called it a day as well, so he's not going to improve on his time. Alright, so Project Ty will be the next one. Just coming around turn 17. Across the line, can he improve on P18? He doesn't. Dan crosses the line up to P11. We've got the Haas of Atsu then, coming around the final couple of corners. P5 just ahead of Picnic, who's right behind him on track. Can he jump back ahead of him? Crosses the line. P4 for him. We've got Keyser, currently P7. He's going to want to go higher up on the grid, and doesn't. Stays P7. Adam Mako, will he get himself up to the pole? P3. P3 for now. Katamise up to P5, 27.3. British P9. Marty P10. Noodles come over P16. Podolski 13. Cats up to P14. Thelemy, what can he do? And he's not going to improve. P4 for him. Portuguese couldn't improve either. 26.8 for him. So Amadi retired a little early. Gets himself on pole again. Portuguese P2. And let's look at this classification. So Amadi, yes, on pole with a 26.5. And Portuguese will join him on the front row. Adamako P3 and Thelemy P4. What a front four we've got there. It's going to be a fantastic start. Katamis P5 and Yates P6. Atsu 7, he'll be happy with that. Giza P8, likewise. Brady P9 and Marty ran off the top 10. Jax 11, Dan 12, Terry's 13, Podolski 14, Cats 15, Billy 16, Noodles 17, Marisnella 18, Project 1019 and Sargate rounding off our full grid. Now whoever's watching, say in chat, And it's a dry start. Who do you reckon is going to be on podium? D is on form, but he's surrounded by a lot of top racers. It's hard to call, and I don't want to call it. I don't want to jinx anybody. And drivers will be sorting out their strategies. This track is known for safety cars, so there'll be I think a lot of drivers will be predicting a safety car. It's a 20-stop, one-stop pit stop, one-stop strategy. If it is dry, I'd probably go harsh to mediums if it was me. But you can do the alternate pitting on around lap 17. Hard to call. I'm gonna go for Adam to go get P1. He hasn't got one yet this season. I think Portuguese P2, and I reckon Thellamy's going to get P3. I think Amadi, he's had a good run of form for the last few races. So there's your strategies then. So Jax is going racy to start with, the only one to start on softs. Portuguese Adam and Billy all going for the hard, and Key's going for the hards, and everyone else on the medium. So I think it's going to be a good, interesting race to see how the strategies play out. By the looks of it, potentially a dry race then, so with most people going on mediums. 4.9 kilometre circuit anti-clockwise, of course. 19 corners, 12 to the left, 7 to the right. 3 DRS zones and 4 DRS straights. The second one, of course, being the 2 DRS straights. And Amadi will lead us off the line. Portuguese joining him on the front row. Amazon telling us we have to pit on lap 15. Adamako on the second row, joined by Thelamy, who got the first race win of the season but has missed out. He's been away for the last few races. Katamise P5 and Picnic joining him on the third row. Atsu P7 and Kiza Giza P8. Brady P9 and Marty rounding off the top 10. Jack Daniels and Dan Morris on row 6. Terry's and Podolski are 13 and 14. Katz P15. Billy P16. Be interesting to see what he can do on the track on his debut. Noodles P17. Marisnello 18. Project Tie 19 and Cygate. We'll be watching carnage unfold. P20. Of course, Bill will be watching with intent alongside the Arsenal United game, of course. So if you hear me scream randomly, it's because we've scored. As everyone will get into their grid slots, and we do want Codemasters to give us a nice view for the start of the race. Marisnello disqualifying himself. Who knows how that's happened without hitting somebody. Noodles has missed his pit box. And this is it. It's giving us a shot from behind as it's 4, 5. It's lights out. Away we go eventually. And Portuguese looks like he's got a good start line. Thelamy has got himself up to P2. Has got the inside, but it's been squeezed out by Portuguese. Portuguese has dropped to the end and looks like he might have got a bit of damage. Thelamy has missed out as well. I think he's down to P13. Adamako up to P2. Atsu up to P3. And Thelamy is out. And I think there's a bit of a collision there. There's an early exit for Thelamy, and as a VSC has come out, as we see 1 or 2 bits of carbon fibre go flying. Let's see if anyone has got damage. A bit of damage there for Katamise. We're getting some silly penalties here now. We've got a drive through for a speeding under safety car. 10-second penalty for a collision from Marisnello. I think that's a Cygate. 10 seconds. I think this game's not helping at all. And Cygate's got himself a penalty as well. It's not easy to see. Oh, Project Ty's got a yellow flag as well. I don't think people are giving yellow flag, giving positions back. Have given penalties, and what you're probably best doing is, while the VSC out, I think this game is giving potentially penalties out left, right and centre here. VSC conditions, you've got to give these penalties back. Why is there a big gap between everyone else as the game has got underway again? And Katamise has got an Italian hand gesture for speeding in the pit lane. Marty's in the pit lane as well, he must have damage too. So we've had early doors carnage, as he does get a wing change as well. Keys is in the pit lane. I think there's been a lot of collision. He's got a wing change too. Noodles is in and has got stuck behind his teammate, unfortunately. Katz is in. We've had the curse of the Singapore Grand Prix, as Amadi has managed to break away from Adamako early doors on those hards. His hards yet to get to temperature, as Briddy has managed to get past Yates as we go round turn 9. As Yates managed to get back ahead before turn 10. Jack's up to P4. He'll be happy with that on his soft tyres. Podolski ahead of Katz, who's got damage again by the looks of it. I think some will say he might be a bit of karma here. He's probably actually holding up, or he's hit the walls, or his setup has been the death of him. He goes wide. He can't keep it on track, and I think the cars behind are struggling to see what's happening with Katamise. Project Ty being very cautious. Sygate's up to P12 as Amadi sets another fastest lap. 3.2 seconds ahead of Adam. Atsu right on the back now of Adam. Terry's getting himself ahead of Dan, who's in the pits. Has he got damage as well? He does, he's changing his wing. So Terry's up to P7. Podolski up to P9. With all these early pit stops, so it's going to be completely different strategies as Katamise is in the pits again. Billy's in the pits in the second. Williams, he's going to get double stacked. It's unfortunate for him, as Dan comes out just ahead of Keyser in P13. It's unfortunate for Billy having to double stack here. I know he's gone straight through serving his drive through, and Katamise serving a penalty as well, so just getting it out the way and getting his wing change, going onto some soft tyres, but a bit of fresh air will do him good. Portuguese and Project Ty battling. Just trying to see where they are. It was coming round turns 7 and 8, and Project Ty knows it's potentially not his battle. His yellow flag as Katz is out and has lost it on turn 8. And it's a VSC again. Let's not get any silly penalties again, guys. And unfortunately we lost Katz. Would like to see him a little bit longer. The VSC is out. Will anyone look to take pit? And Jax has worked out well for him, getting off those softs early on. Yates is in as well. Well, he's going on to the hard, so will his hards go to the end? We shall see. And it's a wing change for Yates as well. It's a lot of wing changes. Currently Amadi P1. Adamako P2, and he's got Atsu for company. Good early showing from the Haas driver. Italian hand gesture for Podolski is speeding in the pit lane. Oh, it's just, drive through from Marisnello. Got caught out by the VSC ending. Oh, silly mistake. Silly mistakes. As Yates has lost a few positions. I think coming potentially out of the pit lane on those on those new hards. His tyre's not up to temperature. It's down to P10. Jack's currently P6, already done his pit stop on those hards ahead of his teammate. Ferrari boy's looking good for now. Terry's up to P5. He'll be happy with his current standings after lap 4. As Keyser has just come out of the pits. And Marinelli coming in, serving his drive-through. Again, a rookie mistake. Always, that's why they get the Italian hand gesture, because it shouldn't be happening. Amadi, 4.5 seconds ahead of Adamako now. And Adam will be hoping for a safety car to bring it in play. We've got a yellow flag, it's an Aston. Not Marty. Amadi? What did that come out for? It's a Haas car, it might be Katz's car. That's what's happened to Portuguese. He's in the pits. Yates is in the pits as well. Are they both serving drive-through? Have they both got drive-throughs as well? Oh my God. Picking penalties left, right and centre, these guys. Right, note to self, maybe not put Singapore on the calendar again, because these drivers can not seem to cope. As Billy managed to get himself up to P13. Jeez! Actually sticking with Adam like gum on his shoe. Brady currently running in P4, the lone Alpine driver. Looking strong for now. Had a good early start to the season. And his second race, he had a bit of trouble in... I can't remember where it was. Jax has got a bit of no man's land for him, but I think P6 I'll be quite happy with the comfortable finish of him. Just getting to grips with the game again. Project Ty has got a couple of seconds ahead of Marty, who's running in P8 in the second Aston Martin. Aston leading the way in the drivers, constructors for now. Sygate P9 from P20. Does have Dan Morris, the company will be looking to capitalise on the DRS down to turn 1. He's not close enough, and we'll follow him through and look to Billy and Yates side by side as Billy makes the overtake down to turn 16. Yates will try and fight back going down to turn 1 with the help of DRS. Will he make the move into turn 1? Is he close enough? He's not. He'll have to follow him through the S-curves. As Sygate defends well. Down to turn 7. As Dan could not make the overtake, and Dan, while pushing hard, gets himself a penalty. Can Yates take his position back with turn 6? He does. And makes a nice clean overtake. And he takes P13. Dan sticking with Sygate for now as we're crossing over the Singapore River. DRS open again. We will have this help of the second DRS zone. And it looks like Adam's potentially broken DRS from Atsu. Is Dan close enough again? Sygate defending well down the DRS straights. Can Yates do the same? He does. It seems it's kind of settled a bit now, thankfully. Can Noodles and Katamise capitalise on their soft tyres? Will they go running long enough and maybe switch onto some mediums? Project Ty getting himself another track limits penalty. It's difficult. You can run wide in certain areas, and especially turn 14 is a tricky one because there's no actual runoff area, but you can go across the white lines. And those 11.8 seconds, I think. What a few of these drivers will want is a safety car to come out to bunch the track up a bit, as Dan managed to get ahead of Sygate now, as Keyser gets himself a track limits too. And Dan is biding his time and Cygate will be wanting to retake the position. They'll have the help of the DRS as we come out of turn 13. Can he get himself close enough? He's got a better exit off the corner. DRS is open. And he's got himself within half a second now. Whoa, whoa, and there's a BSC come out as Project Ty hits the wall. It's a full safety car. The safety car is out. What happened there? As Marty made an overtake, I didn't see contact, but I'm sure we'll find out potentially in the stewards as the Ferrari hits the wall going down to turn 16. And the safety car is out. We're going to see some people in the pits now as Dan jumps in. Cygate's in the pits. Dan's on some fresh mediums. Noodles has come in, so the guys on the soft tyres, it's helped them. Cygate's gone onto the hards. Portuguese is in. He's onto fresh mediums. Podolski's gone straight through, so staying on the hards. Katamise is, of course, getting rid of those softs. Kieser has gone straight through, I think. He's on some reasonably fresh hards, just ahead of his teammate. Katamise will be ahead of Marisnello, so we've lost 3 cars now. Armadi, Adam and Atsu all coming in and taking advantage of the pit stop. Adam jumping onto some mediums. Atsu will be going onto some hards by the looks of it, so this has potentially helped the guys doing the medium to hards. Can Adam make these run till the end? Briddy is in, changing onto his hards. Terry's is jumping in, going onto his hards. Will Jacks? No, he goes straight through. Will Marty go straight through? Oh, Podolski. You silly sausage. As Marty does come in and getting rid of these hard, so it does seem that you could go to the end on mediums. I think it's a little bit early. As Terry's has come out and retains his P, or he gets P6 because Jax has gone through. But how long will Jax's tyres hold out? Marty has gone onto his mediums as Yates and Billy come through. Where will Marty come? He's coming behind those pair. Dan's coming around the final corner, so Marty will come out ahead of Dan. And that's everyone who's gone into the pits that wants to. And it's jumbled up the order again and has closed up the gap. Adam will look a bit more racy off the safety car restart with his mediums. Oh, it's been eventful this, and I'm pretty sure the steward's room will be. I'm going to have a busy couple of days. And I needed a big gulp of my coffee then. I needed a refresh. Jesus. I was thirsty. That's it. I'll go around for another lap as all the cars do get back bunched together. And I think everyone will be happy with this after the early chaos. I don't know whether it was the game that caused all those penalties or it was actual driver infringements. But there's nothing we can do about it now. I'm sure a lot of the penalties have been served, so they can't be rescinded. Let's have a look if anyone does have to serve a drive-through. I hope not. Podolski, it's going to be a bit detriment to him. But you've just got to stop speeding under the safety car. It's just not right. It's working its way around now. So Amity will lead off the restart. And let's have a look at the standings while he's going round. who's currently leading the way by 25 points. He's got 3 race wins for the season. Adamako is P2 and has found himself on the podium a few times. Atsu, reserve driver P3. I think he'll be really chuffed with that. Jack's his second race of the season, running P4. Let's see what he can do near as the end of the race unfolds with his current tyres. Will we see another safety car? That'll mix things up again. Briddy P5. Alpine had a really strong start to the season, but have dropped off a little, with mainly because of absence. Terry's P6. Come on, I'm willing you for your podium. You can do it. Chill out. Yates P7. And get some points on the board for Red Bull. Billy P8. And I think if it was me, I'll be quite happy with that for my first race of the new league. Marty P9. He's going to look racy alongside Dan. On those mediums on the restart. It hasn't said it's in yet. It won't be, as we're waiting for the last couple of cars to catch up to the. I think Maranello. Maranello is actually. Where is he? He's ahead of his teammate. So I think Maranello needs to get out of the way on the restart to not hamper his teammate, which will help Terry's on his restart. Podolski P11, rack up some points for the Kick Sauber. Portuguese is a bit out of sync at the moment. So he's the current lead car. Stargate P12. Pit stops, just mixing it up a bit, but he'll be happy. 8 places up from his race start. He's both RB drivers, 13 and 14. Can they work together to get themselves up the grid? So P15 for Portuguese. He's going to look racy off those mediums as well, and he'll want to get and work his way through. As long as he just needs to make sure he does it at the right times. Don't over force it. Same with Castanese. P16, and then Maranello, who is out of sync, as I said, and needs to potentially get out of the way. Bellamy currently P3 in the standings, but won't get any points this week. Crashing out early doors. That's unfortunate. We'd like to see what he could have done. Aston Martin lead the way in the constructors. 179 points with the Mercedes team and 136. And there's only 4 races gone out of the 12, so plenty of points to play for. It's not over till the fat lady sings, or the big boned. And the safety car is in this lap. So Amadi will slow this down, bunch the cars up. And I have a feeling he'll probably launch out of turn 17, because the run to the line is quite short after, and you want to get a good launch around the final couple of corners. He's got to wait for the safety car to go in, and of course there's no overtaking until the timing line. So let's see what he does. He's just slowly going around. The safety car is still not in yet, so he's gone a little bit later than I expected. But it's now or never. He's going last minute and he's gone now. That's it, he's gone. Will anyone break free? As Dan's got an early. And anyone been caught off? Terry's has been caught off guard slightly. But everyone has got away well. No one's gone for an early silly move. That's good to see. Everyone's learnt their bloody lesson. Otherwise they're going to get a bloody slap. And Adam is sticking with Amadi like glue. He does not want to let him get away. Dan is right on the rear of Marty and Podolski. I think looked like he'd fallen away a bit as Marty and Billy side by side. Marty taking a look on the inside of turn 10, but isn't quite close enough. Maranello's car, of course, is ghosted, but it can be a distraction. As Marty, as it's bunching round, Dan pushing around the corner. Billy's a little bit slow through turn 13. And it's just hampering the cars behind. As Marty looks on the inside of turn 14. Side by side, great overtake. Great driving by those pair. And Marty, be careful. Didn't leave him enough space there. Locking wheels, and Billy does well to keep himself out of the wall. As Dan capitalises on Billy going offline. And DRS is now enabled after the safety car restart. The top two have dropped Atsu. As Sygate gets himself past Podolski. And Podolski's out. Podolski's gone on the final corner. And it's another safety car. Another safety car. And did he lose it on his own? We'll never know until afterwards. It's a tricky one. You can lose it on the curb when you're going flat out. Maranello is still within the bunch of cars. Will we see anyone else pit again? This will help all runners that have just pit. But if it was me, if I've still got... everyone would have still used the hards. And Billy has retired. And he's retired on track. It's under the safety car. But he's called it a day. We do recommend to everybody, please retire in the pit lane. But it won't, as it does cause the safety car, but it won't be caused this time. It's a shame. Managed to last 12 laps, but I called it a night. Tricky circuit. It's a tricky circuit. And it's a difficult one, and compared to other tracks where you do have a lot of runoff area and wider track. And I think Adam, is he going in? It looked like he was faking it. Will we see anyone actually go in? Or is everyone going to stay out? Portuguese is going in then. He's thinking, why not? Get myself on some fresher tyres. Is he getting some fresher mediums? So he's choosing the only one to pit. And he does go into fresher medium. So yeah, I probably would have done the same in his position. Oh, bugger. I've just turned my bloody stream off for United game. Liverpool losing as well. Brilliant. That's hilarious. Isaac. Dick. Anyone wants to know City? No Haaland scorer though. All your Haaland wankers. Aston Villa 3-0. Woo! Crazy. Let's make my stream back up. Apologies. Prime video. So it might be in this lap if Portuguese manages to catch up. Back in play. Here's a catchphrase. So we've got 15 runners left, and I think it should be in this time. Please let it be. I want to see some more racing. It's going to be a late call though. I think it's going to make us go round again, which will prolong those tyres. Podolski apologises in the Discord. I think he's gone off. I don't think the guys will mind. It happens, mate, don't worry. It's good to see you on track though. Noodles and Catanese. And what is Catanese doing here? As Maranello's in the pits as well. Catanese in the pits. Gets himself a penalty, which I don't. Will he serve it? He deserves it now, so it's the reason why he jumped in the pits last minute. And ignored the yellow flags. This game's quite brutal. Yeah, we'll do. It's been quite eventful, a lot to talk about, and like I said earlier, I think I'm hoping there's not a lot of stuff in the stewards. I want a weekend off, please. So Katamy's getting himself onto some fresh mediums as well. Again, nothing to lose, and gets rid of his penalty. Amadi will lead us away again. And like I said, this helps all drivers to extend their tyre life. We're only just halfway through. And we've seen 2 full safety cars and a couple of VSCs. And as we stand, anyone could win this race, to be honest. Who knows? But Amadi will lead us round, lead us off the start. After the safety car goes in, Adam will be P2. And will they break away again from Atsu P3? Jack's again still running around. It is in this lap. Brady P5, Terry still running P6, Yates P7, Marty up to P8, Dan up to P9, Stargate P10. Again, he'll be chuffed with that, everyone starting from the rear. Led both RBs up to P11 and 12. Portuguese Beast and Katamys will be looking extra racy again on those fresher mediums. As Amadi just warm his tyres up, and the safety car still not in, so he's going to roll round. I think he'll go from the same place he did last time, so Adam will be ready. Will everybody else? As he goes. He's gone. No, he's still not gone. He's gone now. He's gone now. I caught Adam slightly off guard. Atsu is all on the back of Adam. Has a look in the inside of turn 1, but cannot make the move. Jack's defending from Brid. Everyone is getting through nicely. As Maranello does end up at the back now. And will get himself some points for finishing the race if he keeps going. As Katamys and Portuguese side by side, as Katamys has actually made the move. And Marty and Yates, as Yates makes the overtake on turn 7 and has managed to make it stick. Portuguese get back ahead of Katamys on braking on turn 7. I think we'll have a good battle between those pair. As Yates trying to make early moves on. Marty has made early moves on his mediums. And Marty getting slightly caught out by Terry. He's on the hairpin of turn 13. As we've got another yellow flag. Is that the Red Bull of Maranello? It is. He's lost it on turn 13. It's just a yellow flag now. He's got a damaged wing. He's lost an end plate. And the front 3 have broken away from Jack Daniels on those older hard tyres. How long can he keep them going for? And I think he's hoping for another safety car to come out in a bit, where everyone will pit. As Marty makes the move on Terry's. As Terry's lost actually a couple of places. Holds his inside of turn 1 but has to brake. As Yates turns in. It's down to P8. Dan is going to be looking to try and get past Terry's now on those medium tyres. Marty up to P6. And the front 2 now have broke away from Atsu. Portuguese has made a couple of places. I've missed that. He's got past both RBs. And Maranello has retired in the pits and has called it a day being a lap down. Thank you very much for retiring in the pits, mate. Very much appreciated. It's good to see you on track. It's a shame that you've had to end it, but I do understand. So front 2 broken away. Atsu's actually caught up to so it's a front 3. They have broken away. Jack Daniels 2.7 seconds behind. He's ahead of this 4-car train, and I think it will be like that. He is on older tyres. As Portuguese now ahead of Dan Morris on the run down to 14. will have the second DRS as well. Sygate gets himself. And Brady making moves on Jax down to turn 16. What's happened to Keezer? On those older hard tyres, on Katami's fresher mediums, it's hard to defend that, and Katami gets himself up to 13. These front three still sticking with each other, and we've got that train of four. Jax is going to be hard for him to stay ahead of the cars behind us. Portuguese, you see him pull out, trying to make the move on Terry's. He does, down to turn 7. Terry's defending the inside. Portuguese goes wide and gets better traction off the exit. And we've lost Noodles. Lost it on the run down to turn 7. Has managed, still got his wing, but it's still going. And I think with a bit of fresh air, he should be able to catch up with the guys in front. And was that connection with another, or on his own accord? We shall find out after the race. Briddy's now pulled away from this train. I think Marty's managed to catch up a little bit, so it's still a 4-car train. Yates has got past Jax now as well, and will find it hard to defend Portuguese, who's going to look to overtake on the inside. Turn 16, later to brake with his newer tyres and gets himself off. It's really hard for Jax to defend with 10 lap older tyres and a hard compound tyres too. You can see Portuguese has managed to break away and has joined this group. Atsu has now been dropped 2 seconds, potentially made a bit of a mistake. And Adam is sticking with Armady, looking to make a move. Will be enjoying the battle as Marty and Yates side by side. It's a 3-car battle here down on turn 6. It's really tight through the section of turns 8 and 9. And Portuguese has managed to get ahead of Marty and will look to make an immediate move past Yates. And we've lost Jax. Let's quickly re-invite him. He's having a good race so far. We don't want him to be hampered too much. Where is he? I think he's completely gone offline. He's not there. I can't invite him. And that's his car ghosting. And Sygate completely lost it. Coming out of turn 13. Smashed the wall. And lost his wing. We caught that as we were going back on. And we'll see Jax's car is... He's going to have to pit. That's very unfortunate. He's running such a good race from where he started. Let's see if I can re-invite Jax, see if he's back online. He isn't, so I can't invite him. I'm sure he'll mention in the stream. As Dan gets himself another penalty and currently in 3:13. As Jax has been overtaken again. Oh, so infuriating. Sygate is jumping in now. We'll look to jump on some fresh mediums now, or maybe even softs. And he does go on those fresh mediums. Armady is broken away from Adam as Terry's gets himself ahead of Katamis, who potentially overtook originally on exceeded track limits, so gave the position back to Terry's. Katamis up to P9. Portuguese has managed to get himself ahead of Yates and is looking to make... Okay, I'll re-invite you, mate. 1 second. Where are you? It's not showing. Still not... Oh, there you go. There you go, mate, invited. Ah, as Noodles has cut the corner so wide. How did he get... Where did he do that? Where did he do that to go so wide to get a 10-second? Ah, I'm sure he'll show, and if he can get it rescinded, we will do. 10, that's quite harsh. Where did he go wide for that? There's not much for it, unless he completely cut the chicane on 16 and 17. But who knows? Adams closed the gap a bit on Amadi. As Katamise makes the overtake on Terry's down to turn 7. He's got Giza for company. And Giza and Terry's. It's not. It's quite common that we see these pair together on track, and we do it again. Everyone seems to have a bit of a gap now. Giza's the closest driver to Terry's, and Will's the only one that will have DRS. He's not close enough yet to make the overtake. Can he do it down the run down to turn 16? Not close enough yet. With his teammate closing in. Portuguese, he's on an absolute charge and gets himself current fastest lap of a 29.9. As Marty has jumped in the pits now. It's a bit of a strange one, as he thinks his tyres won't go to the end. He's jumping, I don't think they will do, so he's jumping onto some softs. Can he get a second fastest lap in a row? He got one last week. Jack Daniels going in the pits as well, so I think it's a bit annoying that he lagged out. So he's thinking of a fastest lap as well, and we'll jump on those softs. Oh, he's going on mediums. Those are mediums. As Giza gets himself ahead of Terry's on down to turn 7. Down the Raffles Boulevard. And it's a great overtake, and he'll be happy with that one. Terry's will be looking to fight back, and we'll be looking in his mirrors for the second derby of Noodles, who's closing in. Yates is right on the gearbox of Brid now, coming out of the turn 14. Have the aid of DRS. Can he make the overtake down to 16, or will he wait for the start-finish straight? He'll have to follow him through the chicane. As they're coming around the final corner, DRS will open for Picnic. Willie's closing in. Not quite the place to do it. Brid defends well. There'll be a second opportunity for Picnic. A little bit of loss of traction coming out of 3. But we'll have another opportunity with the aid of DRS down the Raffles Boulevard. Is he close enough to make the move? Goes on to the inside of turn 7. Briddy defending the outside. Ooh, has he left enough room? Gets himself a penalty. He'll have to say we might be sending that in. If he gets himself another penalty, then it doesn't matter. But he might have said that he wasn't left enough room on track. Might be one for the stewards. We shall see. But great overtake nonetheless. And Noodles has made the overtake on Terry's. He's up to P9. Terry's is still within DRS, and we've got a 3-car DRS train now as Terry's is slightly dropping out. Is he close enough now? Oh, I think he's just outside. He is. So Noodles closing in on his teammate. Noodles looks like he's slightly faster with his teammate. Play the team game and let him past. The DRS straight might be the place to do it. As Portuguese is closing in on Atsu for P3. They're coming out of turn 3. We'll keep an eye on this one. Is Noodles close enough to make a move? He is not down here, so we might see it down Raffles Boulevard. Where Portuguese and Atsu are. And Atsu defends well. Portuguese will have to follow him through the middle sector. And Marty gets himself the fastest lap for now on a 29.8 on those soft tyres. As Keyser, I think, lets his teammate through, doesn't battle it too hard. These two can work together and close in on Katamise. Keyser to stay within the DRS zone of Noodles. They can be pulled along. Currently 2.6 seconds behind. We'll keep an eye on that to see if they can close it in with 7 laps to go. Portuguese still behind Atsu. As they nipped over Esplanade Bridge and that DRS zone, Portuguese could not close in. He will now go. And he's close. He's pushing now. He's pushing. Can he make the overtake down to turn 1? Looks like Atsu has used a lot of his ERS. Portuguese doing the same. And well defended again from Atsu in the Haas. Running so strong this week. I think he was slightly personally disappointed last week of not finishing higher. He had 1 or 2 little incidents, but doing well. And Portuguese, I think, with the aid of DRS, does make the move on the inside of the kink of turn 6. And Atsu will try and stick with him to retake the position. It's Marty, as Dan goes in the pits now. Struggling on those 16-lap medium tyres. And is changing his wing. He's got a bit of wing damage, so going on those softs. Will we see Dan Morris nip the fastest lap? I think he'll be chuffed with getting that on the board. Of course, got himself on the podium on the last, got himself the race win actually on the final race of last season. And we'll come out behind Dan Morris and maybe just ahead of Sygate. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. And Sygate just ahead. So, but down on those fresh softs, we'll try and fire back. So I think Adam will be struggling a bit more on these extended mediums. Portuguese has 5-lap fresher mediums. Will he close in on Adam? We'll keep an eye on that intent with 5 laps to go. 2.7 seconds currently the gap. Atsu staying with Portuguese. Yates in P5. He'll be happy with that with his first race of the season. And then out in a bit of his own no man's land. And as predicted, the RB boys have caught up to Katamise. And all I say to these guys is bide your time. Don't force this. You can do it on the run down as Dan does take Sygate, get himself up to P13. With the aid of DRS, they should be able to get past. Katamise does defend well. Gets clipped slightly from Noodles, who went in quite hot and has lost a place to Keyser. But they should get back in with DRS from Katamise. It looks clean, it's just Noodles looked like he was going in hot. And all the while these three will be battling, Terry's will close in too. Portuguese has dropped Atsu and he's absolutely flying on these fresher mediums, and he's within a second now of Adamako. It's a fight for P2. And closing the gap now to just 8/10. The RBs are back in contention with Katamise. And will look to try and get past as quick as possible. Keyser going offline slightly through the chicane. Are they close enough to make an overtake? I don't think they are down the start-finish straight. As Portuguese does make the overtake down to turn 7. And Adam will try and stick with him as much as possible. And Portuguese will try and close down Armadi as we go back with the RBs and Katamise. And watch this with intent. Katamise is still ahead. Keyser hasn't managed to close the gap quite yet. Adamaka's still sticking with Portuguese. Still has that DRS, so can stay with him. But has dropped Atsu's down to P4 now. And that should, if he, it's down to him, but he should be quite content with P4. And we've lost Briddy. I think he was on his own. He wasn't battling anybody, and we've lost Briddy. Coming around turn 13, and I think he's hit the bridge. Or the exit of the bridge. Oh, that's such a shame. He was running so well. It's a bit late for a safety car, so the yellow flag has gone. And that promotes this battle up to P6. I feel sorry for him. He's doing so well. As the RB guys have closed in. Can they make the move? Adam Mako trying to stick with Portuguese. He's still with it. Still within. As Noodles dives in on his teammate on turn 1, side by side through the S's, and Noodles gets through. Does not help the team game as such. But he's going to want to chase down Katamiz, try and get himself up to P6. DRS will be open for both of them again. Katamiz defends well again, utilising his ERS well, I believe. And the RB guys will have to follow through sector 2 and wait for the straights. And Portuguese has dropped Adamako now. Adam just could not stay with him and is without DRS. So we'll stick with these three, making their way around some bridge, around the hairpin of 13. The RBs need good traction off the corner with the aid of DRS. Noodles is closing in down to 14. It's not close enough to make the move, but looks like he'll get better traction off the corner. Katamiz has hit the wall, and that will not help him down the straight. And Noodles, should be an easy move for Noodles. They're side by side going down to 16, but Noodles has the inside. Katamiz goes off the track and needs to give that position back. He's gained an advantage. And he does so. Does he? He's defending in the line. He does. Great, well done for Katamiz. He does not go in the pits either. It's going to hamper the rest of his race with the last couple of laps with a bit of wing damage. And I think his medium tyres potentially wearing off a bit. It looked like it was just a game. Looked like he got a puncture, but we'll have DRS down to turn 7. A bit of a collision there between those pair. This follows on from last week. It'll be interesting to see the footage from both, but somebody's going to be getting a penalty there. But both now have damage. And Gies is going to want to look to try and get past Katamiz. Now Katamiz has no wing at all. He's had a clean shave on his wing. It's a shame. And Terry says, oh, he just got braking time. It's a shame because all we want to see is some good racing. If these pair are intent of having a bit of a feud, then don't take it onto the track. So all I can say is we'll see after the race. I don't know what to say, but we've got a 4-car battle here, and Terry's is the one that looks like he'll capitalise, as Giza taking a quick look to make the overtake. As Katamiz has lost a couple of positions and with his bad wing. As Terry's also gets himself ahead of Noodles, so Kiza. Noodles and Katamiz are locked wheels here. They need to give each other room. Come on, lads. This is not how we like to represent our league. Right, and Noodles obviously forced them into the wall. All I say is recommend to Katamiz is just, right, these two are going to get potentially a race ban now just by looking at this. It's just a shame. This is, whoever's watching, this is not a representation of our league at all, and this is two drivers that should completely know better. and not happy with this at all. So promotes Marty on those soft tyres, chasing down Terry's. Keys now promoted up to P6, and Noodles corner cutting, and yeah, that's yeah, not happy with this at all. Whatever they report, they're both just going to get at least a race ban. It will be in the steward's room, and not happy with this at all. At all. They get disqualified from this race as well. I'm saying it now. It's just not on at all. There's Terry's and Marty side by side. Terry's retaking the position from Marty. Round the final corner. Noodles is out. Castanese will be out. And I just don't know what to say. It's just completely put me off my flow. Let's just get back to everyone else that deserves the coverage, to be honest. Amadi has had a storming race, had a bit of a competition from the drivers behind, but is on the final race. Portuguese getting himself up to P2. He'll be absolutely chuffed from that early incident. Adamaco P3, predicted him a race win, but I think he'll be happy with the P3 with his current pace. Atsu running around P4, but we'll get back with everybody else actually as we follow. Amadi round the final couple of corners, gets himself a track limits, which could be quite tight, but gets himself the race win. Congratulating, 4 in a row for him. Portuguese P2, well done to the kick driver. Adamaco round the final couple of corners, gets himself P3 on the grid. Atsu, congratulating him, P4, best finish for Lights Out League Racing. Yates, first race of the season, coming round the final couple of corners and gets himself P5. Giza. I'd have to have a look. This could be his best finish of the season. Might have joint best finish of the season, if I do recall. Just coming round the Singapore wheel, the Singapore Flyer, and crosses the line for P6. Terry's isn't close enough. Will he get him on penalties? Doesn't. Gets P7. Marty P8. Great battle between those two around the final couple of corners, couple of laps. Jack Daniels P9. Consolidation for lagging out, and coming home P9. Catanese, I will safely say, will be disqualified, and the drivers behind will be promoted but will come home P10. Dan Morris, so will be P10, and Sargate come around the final corners will be P11. So that is it for today. And Game Gear's Portuguese driver of the day. We of course have our own driver of the day, and we'll go through the classification order. Amadi climbs on that top step and continues his fine form of race wins and gets the handshake. So this is the order. Amadi taking the top step with Portuguese P2, and Adamaco getting himself Mr. P3 again. Atsu P4, great run from him. Congratulations on Yates P5, Giza P6, Terry's P7, Marty P8, and get himself another fastest lap. Jack Daniels P9 for the Ferraris, and Catamese rounding off the top 10. Sargate P11, Dan Morris P12, DNFing from Noodles, Brady, Marisnello, Billy, Peter Podolski, Project Tide, Cats, and Thelemy. That's it for action-packed, in some good and bad ways, from the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Yeah, like I said earlier, from what we saw there, it'll be sorted out by the stewarding team. For those that are watching, it is not a representation of our league by all means. But join us next week. We will be in race 6 in Texas. Yeehaw! We'll be in Texas, and it's the final race of 2024, and we'll end the first half of our season 26, and it is a second special race of the season with the mandatory tyres, a driver favourite, so it should be a very, very eventful race. Thank you for joining us. My name is Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.